So far this weekend, I did so many errands that here I find myself at 2 a.m. just doing crazy stuff on my computer because in the middle of the night is finally when I have a little downtime. I do things like on a Friday night, I'm making a peach cobbler at 10 o'clock. Tonight I was having dinner at 10 o'clock and sweeping the kitchen floor at midnight. So I'm a little distracted, but I'm going to give an example of what I usually do with my book promotion. And that, people, is I traipse after people in the street and I walk up to them and say, "Hi, would you like to see my first novel that was nominated for the Penn Faulkner Award and the Pushcart Prize?" And sometimes they say, "Oh, sure. Are you the author?" And other times they say, "I'm good," or "No thanks." And as they as they scurry away fearfully, I'll be tempted to say after them, and sometimes I actually do. I say, "It's really good." Because inside, see, inside, I have a rock star that's trying to get out. It's been this way my whole life. I'm very quiet. I keep to myself. I make a lot of noise with the typewriter. Not a typewriter anymore, a computer. I do a lot of click-clacking on the keys, but inside there's a drama princess clamoring for attention. So I roam the streets of my local towns, approaching people to the point where some people will say, oh, you talked to me about your book 2 years ago. And other people will say, "Oh, yeah, my best friend lent that book to me. I'm reading it. It's really good." Other people will say, "I'll have to check it out." And you know they don't mean it. But I I will just continue to be pushy and hopefully I'll get where I want to be, which I'm not even sure exactly where that is. I just want what do I want for this book? I've thought about that sometimes. Angels Carry the Sun is a book that I wrote with a lot of concern for humanity, actually. I felt like people were subjected to so much pain and violence and misery in life. I mean, all you have to do is turn on NPR first thing in the morning on your way to work, and you're subjected to pain and misery. You know, news from the Middle East or whatever, it's also god awful all the time. But so I wanted to in every way, or as much as I could, create a book that would be sort of soothing. And I know the subject matter isn't always the nicest, but I wanted it to be a good experience and not um, just a reincarnation of yuckiness, for lack of better words, at 2 a.m. I mean, for instance, so often I'll go to, on the rare occasions when I get out of my little box, I'll go to a museum or something, and there will, maybe not a museum, but a gallery, a smaller kind of venue. And there will be this artist who is just showing this very dark, dismal, dreary, unhappy work. Maybe it's a lot of surreal decapitations or, mangled baby dolls or, whatever it is. But I find it very unpleasant, and I want, at least in some regard, to have art or literature be uplifting because life is hard enough. So, not that I have to have a happy ending all the time. I'm not one of those people, but I don't know. That's what I tried to tried to accomplish with Angels Carry the Sun. I think I did a good job. I think I did it. But you know, finally the local librarian at the big library near me, she knows about it. She read it. She loved it. She's gonna try to have some influence over the powers that be to get it in there, and then they'll disseminate it out to the other libraries in the area if she's successful. If she's not, then well, there's always me in the streets. So uh, anyway, I guess I better get to bed, and hopefully I will not have another dream like I had. I think it was last night. I dreamed I was a kind of like a bride Barbie doll. But I didn't look like Barbie. I looked the way I look all the time. And I was wearing a big poofy white gown, but I was inside a Ziploc bag, and I was dancing inside the bag. um, so it was a nightmare. But hopefully, no more dreams like that tonight. Hopefully, the bride gets out of the bag and gets to have some fun.